All right, so I have an apple right behind this. So if you see me, just go over and just take a bite. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. What's poppin', guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Logan Allen podcast. Y'all know what's up. It's Logan. I'm excited. I know it's been a minute. I took like a week off, but we're here. We're back, and we're going to get to everything that we missed in the past week, baby. It's going to be great. If you're new, if it's your first time watching, because this is probably the first episode, I'm actually going to – this is Dusty. It's probably the first episode that I'm going to actually promote other than my Instagram lives and TikTok lives. Hi, how's it going? I'm going to go through everything this podcast is about in a second. We got some fun stuff lined up. We're going to talk some more college football like always. Some stuff going on with WGA and SAG. It's going to be awesome. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. And, of course, we're going to talk about the future of this podcast because it's about to start ramping up. Let's get it. Also, background. The past 2 episodes, I know I've been saying, hey, man, I'm going to have a cool background in the back next week. Just wait. Haven't gotten around to it. I'm sorry. I've been busy. That's why we didn't have the episode last week. It's been a lot going on, but it's a good thing, though. It's a good busy, so we're chilling. We're chilling for sure. Also, wearing the Stab shirt from Scream. I know it's not October yet, but listen, I'm thinking of dressing up in like a costume for every episode in October. But like, I was gonna wait to wear like scary stuff until October, but I was wearing the shirt today, and I was like, I love this shirt. It's awesome. Anyway, cool. So let's talk. Well, first, let me ask how you guys are doing. Right? How are y'all? How are you guys doing out there, man? Hopefully, you guys are doing good. You're staying safe. Lot of crazy stuff going down here in Florida. The rain is insane, so hopefully, you guys are doing okay. And staying safe in that aspect of things. And I hope you guys are just living life, man. Living life like Larry. You know what I mean? That's what we love to hear. I hope you guys are doing good out there. Let's kind of talk about what this podcast is about. So, because I'm going to have a lot more viewers on this one. This podcast is me just sitting down talking, and you guys get to see a more personal Logan. You don't get to see actor Logan. You see more personal Logan. I sit down, I talk to you guys about what I love. Whether that's horror, whether that's football. And we're in a great place right now because that's what's popping. We got the holidays, and of course, we have college football and NFL and a bunch of fun stuff going on. So, it's definitely the time to start this podcast up, and I think that's why I wanted to do it now. And I'm really excited to get this thing moving and to see what it's going to become. So far, the episodes haven't really been much. It's just been me sitting down talking about, I think the first week was me kind of talking about what I want to get out of this podcast. Last week was me, or 2 weeks ago, the second episode was me talking about college football and Halloween Horror Nights. So I want to kind of obviously make the episodes a little bit more juicy, you know what I mean, have a lot more content within it. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. So like I said, we're going to get into the stuff that we're going to talk about today in a minute, but what I wanted to speak on was kind of the future for the podcast. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to try to bring on a guest every single week. Now, these guests aren't going to be like celebrity guests, right? It's just going to be people in my life that I love being around, and we're just going to sit here and talk about different things. We're going to talk about who they are, their dreams, their aspirations, what they want to be, who they are, their goals in life. You know, it's going to be just a fun conversation. We're just going to talk about random stuff, do rankings together. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have my first guest lined up. He's a buddy of mine named Cassidy. He's gonna come on here next week, and we're just gonna be ranking some stuff. We're gonna be talking about who he is, his interests, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So you guys get to dive more deeper into my friends and family, and people that I love to talk to. So that segment's gonna be like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on who we're talking to. And so if you guys have any suggestions for people you want me to bring on, let me know. The reason it's not going to be like celebrity guests is because I don't want it to be like a Zoom interview or a Zoom conversation. I want it to be in person. So, and everybody I know that is well known lives far away from me, so that might not work out. But yeah, no, just sitting down talking to people, I'm very excited to start doing that. And so that will start next week. But today we're going to talk about a couple different things, baby, a couple different things on the agenda. So, of course, I'm an actor, right? And of course, we've had the strike going on, which, you know, it's definitely gained national attention and in a good way. But I think, of course, what we're standing for, WGA and SAG, it's very important. But we all definitely want to get back to the, back to filming and back to acting and everything as quickly as possible. So I'm glad to see everything is ramping up very quickly. WGA, their strike has finally ended. I'm going to put it on your screen right now. They posted a thing saying, hey, we're ending the strike. I believe they ended it Wednesday morning at 12 a.m. Tuesday night was the last day, I believe, that they stopped the strike. And now a deal hasn't been made fully yet. It was just a kind of temporary deal. So now they're actually going through the specifics and getting everything situated. Like I said, I'll put it on your screen right now. You might have to zoom in a little bit because they fit a lot on the screen. I don't know why they just didn't do multiple slides, but it's all right, I guess. Just kind of go through it, check it out. It's very very interesting stuff there. So my guess, week and a half, 2 weeks, they'll have everything situated and figured out because they finally sat down and talked. They finally sat down and communicated, and I'm glad both sides were able to do that. And that's what I talked about, I believe, in episode 1, right? I talked about how we needed to just sit down and just talk, and we finally did, and we made a lot of progress, obviously. So I'm glad both sides were able to sit down, compromise, figure something out, because obviously a lot of people are hurting right now, WGA and SAG-wise. When it comes to SAG-AFTRA and the actors, what's great about the whole WGA strike ending is obviously it's great for them. They're happy. They're going to get their jobs going again. But obviously now for SAG, since we're on strike as well, and SAG is, it gets, a lot of the attention is now going to be solely focused on SAG. So now instead of all these different departments going on strikes, it's now WGA did their thing. They're done. Now it's SAG's turn. And now that all the attention is solely focused on SAG, I think everything should start ramping up pretty quickly, and we should probably get a deal very fast. It shouldn't be another 4 or 5 months, I don't think. I think it's going to be fairly quickly within the next month or so. We should hear a lot of deals being made and negotiations. SAG posted something the other day, I believe yesterday, and they said, to our members, SAG-AFTRA and the AMPTP, or to our members, little dots, didn't read that right. SAG-AFTRA and the AMPTP will meet for bargaining on Monday, October 2nd. Several executives from AMPTP member companies will be in attendance. And then what's great about SAG, guess what? They actually did two slides. They did 2 slides, like what WGA should have did. Don't know why they didn't do it. We appreciate the incredible displays of solidarity and support from all of you over the last 76 days of the strike. We urge you to continue coming out to picket lines in strength and big numbers every day. One day longer, one day stronger. That's a fire quote. That's actually clean. So they obviously did the 2 different slides, so you can read it. And straight to the point, and obviously great to see. I'm really happy that they're starting to have these meetings and really starting to focus heavily on this, because I think we all want to get back to work. Really good stuff to see. Definitely, I'm starting to see the light now at the end of the tunnel. I'm starting to zone in on it a little bit. I'm excited to see what the future holds, and I really, really hope, like I said, we can kind of get this communication going and everything here as quickly as possible. Good stuff there, man. Good stuff there. Also, last time we talked, I don't think I'd gone to Halloween Horror Nights yet. Your boy's been hitting it up, obviously. I think I filmed it the day before I went to Halloween Horror Nights, or the night before, or maybe the night of. I think it might have been the night of. And I've been there a few times. I got the frequent fear pass, so I'm going all the time. Oh, baby, it's great. Listen, I'm not going to lie. This year for Halloween Horror Nights isn't the greatest. I feel like last year might have even been a little bit better. But it's a solid year, man. There's some solid houses. I want to hit every single house 2 times, except for Choose Thy Fate. God, that one's rough. That's a bad house. I'm not going to lie. Choose Thy Fate's not good. If you're going to Halloween Horror Nights, don't do it. That was one of my highest anticipated houses. And it wasn't good. It was like, I thought it was, okay, cool. at the beginning there's going to be two different directions, or midway there's going to be two different directions. You don't go two different directions until the very last room. So you take it, you get like the path where you can choose, and then you go into one room and then walk right out. So there's no difference. There's literally no difference. From what I've heard, there was 3 of us the first night. The one night I went through it. And our buddy was like, we asked each other kind of like what, because we had 3 of us, 2 went one way, 1 went the other. And our buddy that went the other way told us that he kind of explained it to us, and it sounds like there's no big difference. It's just with the wizards that they had different colors. One was red, the other one was so fire and ice, but other than that, I thought so it's kind of stupid, is what I'm trying to say. So don't do that one. It's kind of lame. If you're a fan of the Duel and Dragons ride that was at Universal, you go through it, like you'll see a lot of stuff from the ride in there, and throughout the queue line. But I mean, I wouldn't waste your time. If you're only going there one day, I would probably skip Choose Thy Fate personally. I didn't like it at all. My point though is I want to go through every other house other than that one at least 2 times to get a good understanding and good feel for it. And then maybe next week or the week after, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to rank all the houses from 1 to 10. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to do that. I just want to kind of keep you guys updated on that. And scare zones are pretty good. They're not bad. The concept is kind of stupid, some of them, but it's pretty cool. What was it? What is it? The Death Eaters from Harry Potter. They advertised that like it was going to be a really cool like experience when you walk into the Green Gots area. And was it Diagon? No, stop. How do I say that? Diagon Alley. There you go. When you walk in there, like they made it like it was going to be, there's Death Eaters everywhere, like a scare zone, but there's not. It's actually really stupid. There's a show, and then there's like little Death Eaters, like statues. It was kind of stupid. I don't know if I've only been in there one time, so maybe during that period they just weren't running around. But from what I've seen, it's kind of dumb. So don't definitely go check it out. The show's kind of cool, but don't waste your time on like actually, or at least expectation wise, bring it down a little bit. It's not people running around jumping at you, which is what it should have been, and they just didn't do that. So it is what it is. But yeah. So don't worry about the Death Eater thing too much. And I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and I didn't like it at all. What else at Halloween Horror Nights? I don't want to talk about a lot of the houses too much. Like I said, I want to surprise you guys next week when I rank them, but I definitely recommend it. It's a fun year. Haven't been able to go the past few nights because it's been pouring down rain all day here in Central Florida the past few days. Don't know why. It's just random, but it's what's happening. So yeah, I haven't really been able to go these past few days, which does suck. Excuse me, but we're going to talk about some college football, baby. It's time. It's time, baby. It's time. Oh, actually first, no, let's talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. All right, look, here's my thing. Taylor Swift has good music. I'll be jamming out. I'll be jamming out to some Blank Space, okay? I'll admit it, right? Or Love Story. It's a good one, right? Juliet. All right, but listen. When it's football season and I follow football pages, I don't want to see Taylor Swift on every single one. It's gotten to the point, bro, they were at like a bar at like, okay, you can post them like, when she's up in the booth cheering them on or whatever. That's fine. People were getting mad about that. I'm like, no, it's fine. They're posting it. That gets, advertisement, publicity, whatever. It's fine. But when everybody's posting them with like every move they make, like them walking together after the game through the tunnel, or when they're at a bar after the game and she just wraps her arm around him, it's like, bro, I get it, bro. But these are sports pages. I just don't care. I want to see Travis Kelce. I want to see him run over people. I want to see him catch a few passes from Mahomes, and I want to see him run over guys. That's what I follow sports pages for. I'm happy for him. That's great. But I'm ready for the breakup song, dude. That's gonna be fire. No, there was this actually. Hold up. there was this there's this one guy. I'm gonna actually. That's a lot of editing. That's a lot of editing. But I screw it. You know what? I'll put it on the screen and play it now.
You stole my heart, you intercepted it. Now you're gone, have to accept it. Did I meet your mom too soon? Or did I do what I always do? Yeah, we made it to the 50, and then you kissed me. We made it to the 40, a new love story. We made it to the 30, and you did me dirty right then. You put the end in tight end, and as I touch down, just like you in a game, I'm in another town, and nothing feels the same. Wish I could go back when we met that day. Whoa, and throw a flag on the play.
Yeah, that's pretty fire, dude. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably better than whatever Taylor's gonna put out after this breakup. But like, there were some good little bars in there, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man. We weren't so tied in the end. You know what I mean? Like you could do, or like one was something about Arrowhead. Took an arrow to the heart, or I forgot how they went about it. It's pretty fire though. I like it. But yeah, I just don't like. I'm not a Taylor Swift freak, right? So like, I love that they're together. That's awesome. But oh my god, all my like friends that are girls, all they talk about, and it's like now they're super interested in football. So now I'm trying to explain football to like 14 different people. So it's it's something, definitely something. But no, I'm happy for them. I hope it works out. Of course, I'm messing around when I say they're gonna break up. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna last. But I hope they do. I hope they do. I'm cheering them on, baby. Cheering them on. All right. So anyway, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, whatever's going on there, I'm happy for them. Just please get off my feed. I want to see people run into people, and interceptions and catches and all that fun stuff. So let's keep moving, baby. College football. The past few weeks, man, I've been killing it. I've been killing it, baby. All right. So obviously, I made my predictions for week 3. After the first 2 weeks, I was 10-10. I was 4-6 the first week, 6-4 the next week. Third week, we're getting better. We're getting better. 8-2, baby. 8-2. I will say this: the third week of college football wasn't the best. There was a lot of upsets, but there wasn't a lot of like big games I picked. 8-2 is what we kind of finished out at. Let me see if I can find the games that we picked for week 3. That's week, let's see. No, that was week 4. All right, so yeah, the games we picked for week 3 was Penn State, Illinois. I picked Penn State. Louisville, Indiana. Picked Louisville. LSU, Mississippi State. Picked LSU. Kansas State, Missouri. I picked Kansas State. I didn't think Missouri was going to hit a 61-yard field goal. Minnesota, North Carolina. Picked North Carolina. That was a fun game, though. Oklahoma, Tulsa. Picked Oklahoma. Florida, Tennessee. Picked Florida. BYU, Arkansas. Took an L there. Of course, BYU got a big win, and then they just played terrible last week. Didn't play terrible, but they lost. Wyoming, Texas. I picked Texas, but I thought that would be a close game. Texas actually played pretty good. Colorado and Colorado State. Picked Colorado, and those were the picks for that week. So, of course, there were some bigger games going on, but I like what USF and Alabama. That was a big game, little close there for sure. All right, cool. So that was week 3. All right, so we got 8-2 week 3. Now week 4. Take a guess. What do you guys think we got, baby? 9-1. 9-1, baby. That's what we love to hear. 9-1 week 4. These are the games that I picked, and I was based. And by the way, I don't do spreads. I only do pick'ems. Wasn't able to watch a lot of week 4 because I was, guys. Oh God. So okay. So before we talk about week 4, here was my day. I woke up at 6:40 in the morning after staying up till like 1 a.m. the night previous. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. I know. Woke up at 6:30, same morning. Got ready. My good friend, Mr. Braden Noble, had one of his movies premiering in Tampa. We drove out to Tampa with a couple buddies of ours, watched the movie, drove all the way back. It's like around 12, 1 o'clock now, close to 2 actually. Got in the car, drove up to Gainesville to watch Florida versus Charlotte. One hell of a day. Your boy was on the road the entire day, but it was awesome. We had a good time. We stayed after the game a little bit, met with some people at Midtown right there, and it was a good time in Gville that night, baby. So, big shout out to all the boys that joined us and went to the game. It was pretty dope. But anyway, one hell of a day. So I was in the car and I was driving most of the time, right? So I didn't get to see most of these games. Florida State versus Clemson. I picked Florida State. Florida State, they are definitely fraudulent. I talked about them. And they're a little sketchy. Do I think they're bad? No. They're exactly what I told you guys the past couple weeks of what they are, right? I think they're just a good team. I think they're, I didn't talk about the Boston College game. That was sketch. Now you got a sketch game right here against Clemson. Clemson should have won that game with that 29-yard field goal. Just a really fun game there, but Florida State, I think Clemson's good. I think Florida State's a really good team. I think they're top 10, but they're not number 4 in the country or whatever they are. Texas A&M versus Auburn. Oops, not mean to do that. Texas A&M versus Auburn. I picked Texas A&M to win. Texas A&M got the W. Not as close as I thought it was going to be. Texas A&M's offense is really good. Then, of course, their quarterback got hurt, though, so we're going to get to that in a little bit. Vanderbilt versus Kentucky. I had Vanderbilt winning this game. That was my only L of the week. I just took a really ballsy prediction, and obviously I paid for it. I could have been 10-0 this week, but I wasn't. So still 9-1. We'll take it with the L to Vanderbilt and Kentucky. BYU, Kansas. Kansas got the win. Love to see that. I knew Kansas would come out there and get the W, and they did. I think they wore the all-black uniforms that week, too. So clean. Ole Miss, Alabama. This is the big game of the week. I picked Alabama to win. I said, because I was also on a podcast where I think, what was it? Is it V2 Sports Network? I'll put it on the screen. Awesome guys. I did a whole prediction show with him where I went on and did we predicted a crap ton of SEC games. This is one of them, and I said, I was like, if this is the one year that that Lane Kiffin is going to beat Alabama. If Lane Kiffin's ever going to beat Alabama, it's going to be this year, and obviously it didn't happen. So I don't think Lane Kiffin's ever going to beat Bama, and he obviously took the L. But I thought Alabama would pull it out. They did. Alabama wins it. UCLA, Utah. I thought this would be a good game, but I knew Utah is they're a solid team. They're physical. They don't play like a Pac-12 team. They're actually really, really good and just overall a really coherent team. You know what I mean? And I think you saw a lot of that in this game. Very disciplined. Utah gets the win. Colorado versus Oregon. I said Oregon would destroy them, and they did. Oregon destroyed Colorado. Colorado's not what everybody thinks they are. They were hyped up so much because of Deion Sanders. I like Deion Sanders. Do I agree with his coaching style and taking away scholarships of all these players on his team and bringing in his own guys? Not necessarily. He could have went about that a little bit better. But I think he's doing good stuff there. I knew Colorado wasn't ready, and Colorado definitely wasn't ready. They lost like 42-6 or something. And Oregon was up 35-0 or 35-3 or something at halftime. Oregon could have put 60, 70 points on this team. Easy. Oregon gets the win. Ohio State, Notre Dame. Probably game of the week. Great game. A lot of fun stuff. I don't know. I feel like Clemson and Florida State's probably game of the week. But this was definitely a good one. Ohio State pulls it out in the end, man. Game-winning touchdown with time expiring. I don't know what I think about Ohio State. This looked like two very good teams going against each other. But neither one really looked like a national championship caliber team. But this season's weird. I feel like this is a season where everything is just, it's a toss-up for the Natty. My preseason pick was Alabama. Do I think Alabama's still going to win? No, but I feel like I need to stick with it, but Alabama's not good. So that's definitely, I don't know who's going to win, man. Georgia would probably be my go-to now. Even they're looking rough, but I think they're going to pick stuff up. But we'll see. Anyway, Ohio State gets the win. Iowa, Penn State. I knew Penn State would win this game, and they did. They actually won it very well. They had a really good game. And then Oregon State and Washington State. Washington State beats Oregon State and DJ. Washington State's a scary football team. Great offense, dude. That was his name. That Cade, is it Cade? I think his name's Cade. Hudson Card, right? Absolute monster. He is one hell of a player. And no, Washington State unis are pretty clean too. So that's always a W. But no, really good stuff there from Hudson Card and the Washington State football team. They are definitely a little deadly, baby. A little bit deadly. So we were 9-1 that week. Feeling good. Feeling sexy. It's what we love to see, baby. It's what we love to see. Louisville. So we're going to talk about, of course, now week 5. We're 5 weeks in. Oh, my God. We're 5 weeks in. Crazy. I'm going to a game this week. I'm filming this on Thursday, September 28th, and I'm going to be leaving tomorrow at like 2. Flying out at 4. Going to Oklahoma versus Iowa State. I'm hyped, baby. I'm hyped. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm excited to first time ever to the Oklahoma Stadium. Big shout out to Lee and everybody getting me out there to a game. I'm very excited. So I'm excited to be in that stadium. I love being in different college atmospheres. That's kind of my goal now. Like for the longest time, I just wanted to go to Gator games and just wanted to go to Gator home games, but I want to go to as many different stadiums as I can go to get a good feeling of like what truly might be the best college football atmosphere. And I love the sport overall. So even though these are two teams that aren't my favorite team, I still love the sport. And Oklahoma's my third favorite football team. So still rooting for them. I love the program history. That's what I'll say. I love the program history. Obviously, the one day I didn't like them was that national championship in 2008. But it's okay. It's all right. I still love them. So let's talk about week 5. I'm of course going to be in Oklahoma and Norman. So I'm not going to be able to watch a lot of these games, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Louisville versus North Carolina State. We have 2 Friday games on here: Louisville, North Carolina State, and Utah and Oregon State. Louisville, North Carolina State. This is actually gonna be a really, really good game. Louisville's been playing secretly really good football on both sides of the ball. Love their head coach. I think he's doing really good there. But I love North Carolina State. Man, do I love North Carolina State. I don't know what it is. North Carolina State's my second favorite football team. I don't know why. I've always liked this team. Their physicality is awesome. They play really good defense. It's just, man, Armstrong is just not a great quarterback for them. I thought he would play a lot better than what he's playing. It's at North Carolina State, and because of that, I'm going to pick North Carolina State to win this football game, but that might be a little biased. I like the Wolfpack, baby. I don't know what their chant is. That's probably not what they do, but we'll go with it anyway. Utah and Oregon State. We got number 10 Utah at number 19 Oregon State. This is going to be a good game, man. So, listen. This is probably going to be Cam Rising's first game back because I don't think he was back last week. First game back. He might be obviously not as shifty as he might be because it was a leg injury. Oregon State, though, coming off a loss against Washington State. DJ, not even going to try to pronounce his last name, might be a little feisty. They might be wanting to get an upset here in is it Corvallis? Is that where Oregon State is? It's at Oregon State too. Okay, here's the thing. So I like taking at least one upset every week. I'm going to take Oregon State to win this football game. Doesn't make any sense. Utah is a better team. Oregon State hasn't proved anything. There's just something about this game, the way it's kind of lining up, the circumstances within it. I'm going to take Oregon State to get the win over Utah. That's a stupid pick, I know, but we're going to go with it anyway. Now into the Saturday games at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not going to be able to watch this one because, once again, I'm going to be at Oklahoma game actually starts at 7, so we're good. I will be able to watch this one. USC and Colorado. This game's going to be a really good game because USC's defense is absolute garbage. I thought they would be better. People were saying, their defense is going to be great this year. Just wait. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. Oh, my God. It's incredible. It's going to be a national championship caliber team. No. Their defense is absolute garbage, and they never really pulled away from Arizona State last week. So I think USC, Colorado, think about it. They just took their first loss. People are now, here's the thing, bro. People now are saying Colorado's garbage. So, I've always been in the middle. I think they're a good football team. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're garbage. And now people are saying they're garbage. So I think Colorado's going to use that as fuel. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think this is going to be it wouldn't surprise me if USC loses this game. It won't, but Colorado's defense is not good. And especially with Travis Hunter not being on the field, I just feel like Caleb Williams is going to have one of his best days. And because of that, I see USC winning this game. But this could be a very close game. I'm going to take USC by 10 points. On paper, USC should be destroying this school. This could be like a 53 to 31 type game. But I think it might be just a 10-point game. There's something off. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. I don't like touching it. But I'm going to go USC here. Texas A&M and Arkansas. Texas A&M obviously now losing their quarterback, Connor Wigman. Is that his name? Dude was killing it this year. He's actually one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC and was at least playing like that. And then he goes down with an injury. A little scary for Texas A&M. People are saying that the backup for A&M is good. A lot of people like him. I just haven't seen him yet. Now he's going to be, of course, starting in this football game. I have Arkansas winning this game. It's at Arkansas. Arkansas now has 2 losses. Arkansas is not a bad football team. Arkansas is one of those football teams that can lose to anyone, but they can also beat anyone. Does that make sense? They can lose to Ball State. Not necessarily, but you know what I mean. They can lose to a crappy school, but then beat a really good school. And I could see this being a win for Arkansas, and I'm going to say it's going to be. I think it's going to be a huge win in Fayetteville. I got Arkansas beating Texas A&M in a pretty wild game. We're going to do the Florida game last. We have Georgia, number 1 Georgia versus Auburn, the oldest rivalry in the Deep South, or the Deep South, oldest rivalry is how you say it, I guess, at 3:30. Prime time, CBS. Dun, 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 dun. Classic. So Georgia's going to win this football game. A lot of people are saying it's going to be a lot closer than what they think. Don't get me wrong. Georgia struggled against South Carolina just a little bit, just tiny bit. But I think it's going to be a win for them. This Auburn defense is pretty good. And I could see it giving what's his name? Georgia quarterback Carson Beck. There you go. Sorry, Carson Beck. I can see that defense giving Carson Beck a lot of struggle. It can give him a lot of heat early on. He definitely be struggling early on, like he has been against schools like UAB. But I think once the offense starts going a little bit, of course, especially in the second half, I have Georgia winning by 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, I would say. But I think it's going to be a very close game early on. I think Auburn might even be leading because it's at Auburn, might be leading into halftime. And this Auburn crowd might keep it a little bit closer in the second half, but I think Georgia's going to win by 2 scores. I'm going to say 10 points, not 14 points. We'll go 10 points. They're late in the fourth. Kansas versus Texas. This is going to be a great football game. I'm actually really hyped for this one. These are 2 undefeated teams. I think College Game Day is going to this game. I think, right? I think so. This is going to be a fun one, dude. Okay, here's the thing, man. I think Wyoming and Kansas are kind of even. I think Kansas is a little bit better than Wyoming. I think they're pretty even there when it comes to the discipline and just them as a collective football team. But Texas is on a roll. If this was at Kansas at like a 11 a.m. kickoff, then I would say Kansas is going to win this game. It's at Texas. It's 3:30. I got Texas winning this football game, but it could be a close one for sure. I could see it being a close one. I just don't see Texas and Steve Sarkisian kind of screwing this one up. I think it's going to be a fun game. It's a rivalry game. I actually love this game a lot. Every single year it happens, but I got Texas winning this one. Next one we have is Baylor versus UCF. Look, man, UCF's been playing good. Obviously, they have the 1 loss, but UCF's been playing pretty good. Baylor, on the other hand, has not been playing pretty good. Not good at all. I think they started out 0-3, yeah. Rough year for Baylor. has lost against some really bad schools. I think they lost against Texas State, yeah. And TJ Finley. Look, man, just Baylor hasn't been looking good. And the crazy thing is I love their coach, Dave Aranda, so much. I think he's a great defensive mind. I think he can build a program if he was put in the right place. But is this the right place for him? I don't know. I'm. It's at UCF. I think this might be the first first Big 12 game there. No, that was Kent State. The first big name Big 12 team coming into the bounce house. My mind is telling me to pick UCF, but my heart's telling me to pick Baylor. I really think Baylor is going to win this game. But since I've already picked one upset, I got to pick UCF to win this game. I don't like it. I really think Baylor's going to win this game. But you know what? Just for the sake of my record, I'm going to say UCF's going to win this one. South Carolina versus Tennessee. This is going to be one hell of a game, and I got South Carolina winning this game. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. Tennessee's not good. We own Tennessee, by the way. Go Gators. Y'all know what's up. Let's get it, baby. Stop playing. Tennessee's offense is just absolute garbage. If you stop the screens and stop the run like Florida did, you're going to be perfectly fine. Just stop the run. All they're going to do is throw screens. Yes, Joe Milton can throw the ball down the field, and he can connect on some beautiful, beautiful throws. He did that against Florida. That one over the shoulder was beautiful. He can make some really good throws, but man, there's so many guys open downfield that Joe Milton missed on deep passes. So just play cover 1, cover 0, and you'll be perfectly fine. Just stop the run, focus on that, make your linebackers do their job, and you can win against Tennessee fairly easily. I think South Carolina is going to get a win here. South Carolina obviously having, I think, a top 3 hardest schedule in the country. I think they have the hardest schedule in the SEC so far this year. Not for the entire season, but so far. That's why they're 2-2. I see them getting a win here, though. Tennessee, on the other hand, has played absolutely nobody. Little Conor McGregor there, no. But yeah, no, they played nobody so far, man. So I see Tennessee just losing this game, even though it's at Tennessee. I think they're wearing all black uniforms. It's a night game. Rocky Top can be. I want to really go to a Tennessee game. Go to Rocky Top, but home sweet home. They got a catchy song too. I'm not gonna lie. I see South Carolina winning this one. Let's talk about Spencer Rattler. A horrible offensive line, and this guy's absolutely killing it. Playing really good football. So, South Carolina's a very scary team. I got USC. Not the real USC, but, the little brother, the real USC, winning this football game. Notre Dame versus Duke. I'm very excited for this game. Obviously, I'm going to be at the Oklahoma and Iowa State game. I'm very excited to see this game, though. Listen, man, Duke's a good football team. The past couple years, Duke has been a very good football team, and nobody talks about him. And finally, they got a win against Duke, which, by the way, I kind of predicted a little bit. And Notre Dame, I don't know, man. It's at Duke too, bro. What city are they in? Is it Durham? Is that what it is? Durham, North Carolina, I think. It's going to be a hell of a game. Really excited. Thing is if Notre Dame beat Ohio State last week, I could see them losing this game. I don't see them losing this game. I think Marcus Freeman rarely has had 2 big back-to-back losses. I see a big-time win here by Notre Dame, and I think it's going to be a fun, close game, but I see Notre Dame winning this game. I love this Duke team, though. I love them so much. I think they're a phenomenal ACC team. But yeah, I have Duke winning this game. Notre Dame winning this game. Also, can we talk about how the Notre Dame football team needs to join a conference? I'm just saying, with all this conference realignment, I don't know, join the Pac-2, right? Join the Pac-2. I don't know, do something, man. Being an independent is just absolute garbage nowadays. It's cheating is what it is. It's kind of stupid. So yeah, I have Notre Dame winning this game. I think it's gonna be a fun, close one, but Notre Dame's gonna be winning it. And yes, sir, last game we're gonna talk about. Woo! We have Florida versus Kentucky. Yo, that was almost one of those stretches. You know when you're stretching and you start shaking a little bit? Yeah, it's one of those. Florida at Kentucky. Number 22, Florida at Kentucky. Man, Florida played a pretty bad game last week against Charlotte. I was there. Let's not talk about it. Ricky Pearsall, though, did the that catch was clean. Catch was so clean. So yeah, man. Listen, I think this is a really good matchup. I think Florida's bad offense. Well, they can run the ball. The thing is Kentucky knows they know how to run stop. Let me see what happens when Florida can't run the ball. It's not very good. but we've seen what happens when Florida can run the ball. One of the best offenses in the country, right? Scoring 3 touchdowns on Tennessee in the second quarter. So yeah, man, I think if Florida, the key for Florida is obviously running the ball. If Florida can get over 150 rushing yards this game, they win the game. If they don't reach the 150 mark, they lose the game. Graham Mertz can't carry this offense on his shoulders. People will flame me for this. When I commented this on one of the Instagram pages, they're like, oh, Graham Mertz has an 80% completion percentage this year, or 77% completion percentage this year, which is great. But did you realize that this guy has only thrown like 4 passes past 20 yards this year? He doesn't throw the ball down the field. But I'm not saying that's bad. He's doing what he's being asked, which is great, and I love to see that. But there's a lot of times when he does throw the ball down the field, the ball placement's not good. He usually has his receivers jump up really high to catch it, or his receivers stop instead of throwing them in stride. He doesn't throw his receivers in stride. He doesn't throw his receivers open. He throws really bad footballs. He gets it where he needs to be, but the accuracy and ball placement's way off. And then I said that on a Gator fan page or something, and then everybody started flaming me like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, just watch a game. Like, watch the game. You'll see that his ball placement's not great. So in other words, he can't carry this on his shoulders. This Kentucky offense isn't great. Scoring-wise, they are top 10 in the country for points, or not points scored, but for yardage per game and stuff. Like, a lot of really good stats. Passing yards is top 10, top 15, rushing yards. It's all really good stuff. But when you take away plays for more than 40 yards and more than 30 yards, they're down in the 90s. All you got to do with Kentucky is stop the big plays. If we can hold Kentucky from stopping the big plays, I think we win this football game. I'm going to tell you right now, this Florida defense is absolutely insane. We're number 3 in the country right now, and yeah, we've played Charlotte and McNeese State, but we've also played Utah and Tennessee. 2 solid offenses. So, and also taking a defense that was like 112th last year, I think total defense we were in like 120th. It might have even been at 100. I think we might have even been dead last at one point. I think we were dead last in defense in the entire FBS at one point. We'll be coming here, and now we got Mr. Armstrong, Coach Armstrong, which looks like Ham from Sandlot, Coach Ham, who's killing it. He's 29, 30 years old, and he's brought a defense from being almost dead last, I think at one point was dead last, to being number 3 in the country in not even a full season. We're 4 games in. Great stuff. So this defense, I think, is gonna win us this game. I'm not gonna lie. This whole week, I thought Kentucky was gonna win, but the more that I think about, the more I'm like, the more I watch film myself on Kentucky, because I haven't seen Kentucky a lot this year. All we gotta do is stop them on these big plays. Devin Leary, I love him. Came from North Carolina State. I'm a fan of North Carolina State. I thought he was gonna be a top 5 quarterback in the country this year at Kentucky. It's not looking that way. Not looking great. Might be a scheme thing. I don't know. It's a very weird situation there. Really rough. I like Devin O'Leary, but he's not playing good football. This Florida defense can definitely clamp that down. Now, I could see we have a young team. We got a freshman at safety. I mean, I think he's playing strong safety. That's a pretty important position. We got a lot of young guys out there. So I could see this not going great, right? But Kentucky's offensive line cannot pass block to save their life. And the only way Kentucky's going to have big plays is throwing the ball down the field. And I think this defensive line is going to be able to get to them, especially Princely is going to be able to get to them before they're able to throw the ball. So I have Florida winning this game. I think it's going to be a very close game because I think this offense is really going to struggle for us. I think we're not going to be able to run the ball as well as as a lot of people think. But I think Florida's going to get the win here just because I don't see this Kentucky off. This game might be in the teens. This might be a 17-14, 17-13 type game, or 17-16 type game. That would not surprise me. If this game is, if one of these teams scores in the 30s, I will be extreme. I will quit this podcast. I will. It's not going to happen. I take that back. But no, it's not going to happen. I think Florida's going to get a win here, and I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good little win for them. So I'm excited for that. 11 a.m. kickoff. I'm going to be in Oklahoma, so it's going to be, it's 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'm going to be in Oklahoma, so it's going to be 11 a.m. So it's going to be a fun little game there. But that is it for college football, and that's going to be it for the podcast this week. Once again, I know there's not a lot that we talked about. We just talked about WGA and SAG and a little bit of college football. But I promise the podcast will start getting more interesting from here on out. I'm going to start really planning this out. We're going to dive super deep into all this stuff. It's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours long. A lot of fun stuff on the way. Be ready for it. You guys are really going to love it. You guys are really going to enjoy the content on the way. But yeah, man, love you guys. You guys be safe. I will tell you guys next week all about the experience in Norman, Oklahoma. I'll tell you about, obviously, Halloween's coming up, so we're going to be ranking a lot of Halloween stuff. Might be ranking Halloween candies. Might be ranking Halloween movies. Literal, like the actual Halloween movies. I'm doing a binge on those now. It's going to be fun, man. If you guys want to see any specific tier lists or any specific rankings for Halloween related, y'all let me know. We can definitely dive into it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I love y'all. Y'all stay safe. Have a great rest of your day. And have a good weekend, baby. Love y'all. Yes, sir.